This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening. This is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. And first and foremost, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a Happy New Year. I wish you all, and your families, your friends, and everyone else close to you, the best wishes, and a very Happy New Year. From VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. Well, it's 2015 currently, as I record this. The time presently is 8:09 p.m. Eastern Time, and perhaps this will be uploaded in 2015, but I imagine the majority of listeners will be listening to this in 2016. At least that's what I suspect. I imagine, if anything, maybe you'll even begin listening to this in 2015 and conclude in 2016 if like me, we don't have much planned for the new year. So here I am. It's New Year's Eve. I sit here in this office once again. And, truth be told, it's a pretty crappy New Year's Eve for me. It really is. Not to say anything bad happened in my life personally, because it didn't. Not at all. But it's just a pretty, essy New Year's. In terms of my hobby, which is radio listening. Now, I mentioned this last time, but I'll talk about this a little more, because this is about New Year's, and this certainly for me is a very pertinent New Year's event, what happened. But, it was a bad New Year's for radio. That's all I can really say. Not shortwave, but AM radio in Europe. I mentioned this in the last program, so you probably know. But today was a bad day for it. It really was. It really was. And unfortunately, especially not in the U.S. The U.S. AM radio is golden. It's doing fine. No problem at all. That'll be going for a while still. But in Europe now, the AM band is just slowly turning to static. Slowly is, because many stations signed off today, including and all these stations are powerful too. I mean, several, 100 kilowatt transmitters. These are big, AM stations heard right across Europe. But I watched 3 stations sign off today. 3 big ones. Deutschland Funk, which is a German station focusing on German news and culture, so play sometimes music, as well as German talk programs. I listened to them sign off today. They played their old little interval signal, which hasn't been heard since the 60s, and they signed off with that. All their stations that exposed about, 4 or 5 frequencies now to static, or to substantially weaker stations under them. The next station to sign off was the iconic Radio Luxembourg, which has a rich history behind it, and that signed off with the Luxembourg national anthem immediately afterwards. So there's another thing of static there. And then about an hour later, Radio France signed off on all its stations in France. And that was about 11 different transmitters, and they all went off too. So it's a bad night. It really is. You can say Happy New Year, but it's for me, very, rather melancholy New Year, could you say. And I just think, I could only hope that, medium wave, aka AM, shortwave and longwave radio are still, they'll still have a good run through 2016 and beyond. But should the current trend continue, I predict that in Europe at least, I think the US will hold out a bit longer, because every car in the US still has an AM radio for the most part. And standard AM receivers even are still pretty popular, that a lot of people wake up to. Wake up to the news in the morning or whatever. AM, FM alarm clocks, listening to the radio while they make breakfast, That's still pretty popular over here. So I'll give, the US an extra 10 to 15 years. But I predict that somewhere between the year 2025 and 2030, that in Europe, AM radio is going to be completely gone. And that's my prediction. I can only hope that shortwave will last a bit longer, and that long wave will last a bit longer. But, you can only hope, right? You can only hope, and you can only enjoy it while it lasts. And it's sad, honestly. The world I know, love, and feel comfortable in is, dying right before my very eyes. And it's quite sad, truth be told, to see that with every passing year, you become more and more of an outlier in this world, this new digital world. Because all the things you enjoy becoming outdated, just dying off. And it really is sad. It is. Truly is. I myself don't have a smartphone. I myself don't have social media. And I'm just not into that. I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to have a Facebook account or a Twitter account, Instagram, and the like. I'd prefer not to have that. I'd prefer not to be one of those people that has to look at their smartphone every 5 minutes. I'd rather just look up and just be able to enjoy the world around me. Alas, it oftentimes feels like forced assimilation. It really does. But I can promise you all, I'm still going to keep on doing what I do and living the life that I'm comfortable living for as long as I possibly can. But I can guarantee you that in the future things might get difficult. They might get rough, might get miserable. But I'm not going to change until I absolutely have to. Because I just want to enjoy what's here while it's left, while it's still there. I want to be happy and I want to feel comfortable for as long as I can. And with every year, sometimes that gets more and more difficult. But we just have to keep trying. And I urge all of you, if you found a little niche for yourself, a little place that you're comfortable with, a few things in this world and society on the internet that you enjoy, whatever it might be. Might be radio. Might be just enjoying the world without a smartphone or without social media. Might be a certain website you like. Certain program you like. It's not going to be here forever. It's not. One day it's going to go away. So just enjoy it while it's still here. Just do that. And I cannot urge that enough. It may seem stupid. It may seem redundant. It may say, well, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. No way. Why should I bother? Why should I invest any extra time or thought into this? Yeah, I like it and all, but it's not going anywhere. I'll see it tomorrow. Do you really know that? Just think about that. Make the most out of what you enjoy. Always do that. Make the most of what you enjoy. And cherish every experience and every memory. And this could apply for anything, really. Yes, well, I'm talking in the context of material things. This could also be enjoying the company of a pet, or even the company of another person. Please just enjoy it while it's there. And it may be there for a while. Maybe there for years or decades. May not be. Maybe this website or television show or radio station may be only there for a few more days or weeks, months. No matter how long it's there, though, just enjoy it. Enjoy it and make the very most of it. Because I can't reiterate this enough. It's not going to be there forever. And it's awful to have regrets about something that you wish you experienced more, and time has passed by and now we can't anymore. Because it's gone forever. I know that feeling. And it's not a pleasant one at all. I think it's something we should all try to avoid as best we can. We should say, I miss it, but at least I was able to enjoy it, and at least I have all these good memories to reflect upon, rather than regrets. That was a monologue. I didn't intend it to go that way, but I did. I just talk. It's just a stream of consciousness, and that's just what I'm thinking about now. Because I myself have my own share of regrets, especially with shortwave and radio. You know, I see on the bands all these stations that are blasting in so strong, and I say, oftentimes I underestimate. I say, it's not going to go off the air anytime soon. 2 of the 3 stations, believe it or not, that went off the air tonight I actually thoroughly enjoyed. Deutschland Funk, and even more so RTL Radio, or Radio Luxembourg. When I first began listening to shortwave in early 2013, late 2012, those were some of the first stations that I discovered. I began tuning the lower frequencies, and I discovered these strong stations of great music and great programs, and I enjoyed them greatly. But I didn't make the most of them. I thought, they're going to be there for a very long time, and look at what happened tonight. Especially if you know that something's going to go away. Don't be naive and say, I'll enjoy this some other day. If you have the time, do it now. That's all I can tell you. And that's my New Year's advice to you. This is VORW, the voice of the Republic Week. Well, aside from a really crappy New Year's Eve, that is, how's the rest of 2015? No, you know, it was a good year overall. For me, it was a good year. For me, it was. New Year's Eve, horrible. But 2015 as a year itself was okay. And what we'll be doing now is a year in review for this channel through the year 2015. So sit back, relax, and we'll take you back through the months of this channel, the Report of the Week. And I'll tell you month by month how things went. I will indeed. There will be no fan mail reading in this program. And that will be reserved for the next show, which should be up sometime next week, I imagine. Perhaps Tuesday or Wednesday. We begin this program with January, of course, 2015. So let's look at the videos, let's rewind, and let's see what we have in good old January of 2015. Now, 2015 for me was the most successful year for this channel so far. 2014 may have produced more videos, but in terms, at least, speaking numerically in a pure fashion, in terms of gaining subscribers, viewers, views, and also financially supporting the channel, 2015 was the most successful year. There are many advancements of this channel in 2015, and not too many drawbacks. So overall, 2015 was a very successful year for this channel. Okay, it was a very successful year. It absolutely was. So 2015 was definitely a very successful year. I can't reiterate this enough. Although 2014 did produce more VORWs. So in terms of VORWs, yeah, 2014 produced 80, right? 80 VORWs, whereas 2015 produced mostly just around the number of 25 to 30. But they were longer VORWs, they were. Okay? They were all longer. They were, some of them even grazing the 2-hour range. So perhaps if you really wish to do so, you can multiply the number by 2, given length of 2014 VORWs to length of 2015 ones. Continuing now. The final video of 2014 was the year in review, where I did, well, a year in review of the year 2014. And 2014 was really a year of great change. It started with turbulence from the days of Fit from 4chan kind of harassing me incessantly, to the formation of the VORW program, to an end which was more slowed down but refined, with comments still blocked, of course, VORWs being produced somewhat regularly, and the focus mostly being on running on empty reviews with some Energy Crisis reviews here and there. 2015 began with a running on empty review, believe it or not, wearing a colored dress shirt in a purple color, or a lavender color, and similar to 2014, where I had a very strong emphasis with the running on empty series of frozen pizzas, this was a continuation of that. I reviewed a ShopRite Rising Crust pepperoni pizza, and you can consider that a continuation of 2014. Because in 2014, mind you, again, I reviewed many frozen pizzas in the Running on Empty series. I reviewed many a frozen pizza. That's just how it went. I reviewed many frozen pizzas, and of course, when the clock struck 12, and January 1st rolled about, there was no sort of great change. There wasn't any sort of great change. It didn't happen. Therefore, we can reasonably assume, well, 2014, as every year kind of does, it continues on for the first few months of the new year before things start changing and going their own directions. So you can say already, I guarantee you that January and February, and maybe even March of 2016 is going to be exactly like how December of 2015 was. Okay. Now, on January 4th, 2015, I made a video called The Report of the Week in 2015, What to Expect. And I guarantee you, again, you will see a video for 2016 called The Report of the Week in 2016, What to Expect, where I will outline my goals and intentions of 2016 and what I intend to do with this channel. I pretty much said, in 2015, I will continue things for the most part as they are. I will perhaps try to increase video output, which I did. And I said there will also be a series where I do drink reviews, standard drinks. I did that as well, beginning with the water review, and thereafter I began reviewing miscellaneous drinks. And in 2016, I do hope to get an organized title for this series. So I made this little introduction video, and I never did anything like that before. I didn't do that. But I thought it would be good, to number one, get this video up, show people that I'm still alive, try to increase video output, but also to outline to my subscribers and viewers what I want to do with this channel in 2016 to try to connect things. There were a few changes to this channel that I did not outline in that video because I didn't know of them at the time. Now, January itself was a pretty standard month. Often, in this month itself, video output was okay. It wasn't the fastest at this point in time, but it was okay. a lot of videos were actually from a, my apologies, I do forget the word here. From a backlog, that is it. A lot of the videos themselves are from a backlog, so I was just kind of uploading them slowly but surely. In January 26th began a new phase in the channel, called the Sarah Lee phase, which I call it, where I began to take the Running on Empty series of food reviews, and I began to switch the focal point of it. Originally, continuing on from 2014 here, the focal point of the Running on Empty series was at frozen pizza. But, listen, we could only eat frozen pizza for so long before we want to change to something else. That's a fact. Therefore, the focal point did change from frozen pizza to kind of supermarket, baked goods, and candy for the most part. With some fast food. With a little smattering of fast food here and there. Okay. So through February, we began to change that focal point. There's a Sarah Lee review. There was a Frozen White Castle review. Some Lay's chips. Tony's Supreme Pizza is still there, carrying on. Red Velvet M&M's. Red Baron Singles, Pop-Tarts. You can see where this trend is going. Sarah Lee, Lay's Wavy Chips. Right. We can see where this trend is going. So rather it's not all fast food, not all popular food, but rather it has a focal point in February and March, a lot on these frozen supermarket type foods. This is more on supermarket foods, stuff that you'll get when you browse ShopRite, Walmart, Kroger's, Food Lion, AMP, RIP, and the like. That's my new phrase, and the like. You'll hear me use that a lot now. So you'll see that a bit. Energy Crisis reviews continued on, with a product like Route 9 Ginseng, and others being reviewed, and the 4-year anniversary came about on February 20th, 2015, where I reviewed X-Mode Energy Shots. And you can guarantee that the 5-year anniversary will happen again on February 20th, 2016, of course, with an Energy Crisis review. Because the Energy Crisis series is going nowhere. It is to stay with us through the year 2016. Now, through all this time, VORW production was very slim. There's only one VORW produced in the month of February, and 2 in the month of March. And in April, only 3. Compare that to 2014, when there's a VORW at times produced almost every single day or every other day, and you can see a difference there. There was a big difference. Another interesting little thing to take note of is one of the reasons why the VORW production was so low at this time. Because I did produce VORWs actually bi-weekly. Or twice a week, I apologize. Twice a week. Twice each week. Every week. But they weren't relayed on YouTube. Rather, they were broadcast on shortwave. That's right, at that time I had funding going into WBCQ shortwave station. And from the time of January in 2015 until July of 2015, I had VORW programs broadcast at first twice a week on 5110 kilohertz shortwave, which targeted mostly with a lower signal eastern and central United States from 11 p.m. until 12 o'clock midnight. Then the signal got switched. In April, we got bumped up to the 7490 kilohertz transmitter, which had a stronger signal, a better transmitter, and a better frequency, and was more listened to. And I got bumped on Thursdays to primetime listening hour, which was from 7 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And this broadcast spanned the United States. It targeted eastern, central, western United States, Central and South America, the Atlantic Ocean, Western Europe. We had a bunch of shortwave listeners who heard us in the Netherlands and in the UK. And the signal even spanned into the Pacific. So this was a full-blown international broadcast transmitter, and I was heard internationally. I mean, who knows, maybe even people in South America and North Africa who didn't really have access to the internet could have been VORW fans. You never know, right? So that's also another reason why this wasn't really, there wasn't too much of a focus on the YouTube VORWs, because there was a shortwave VORW instead. You know, and I wish more people would have lent an ear to it, but we had a good selection of shortwave listeners, and that's what mattered. That people listened to it and they enjoyed it, and a lot of people said it really kept them company through the evening, and they enjoyed the music that I played on it. That was nice. That was nice. And a few probably some of my biggest viewers online did actually come over to the online web SDR receivers, and they listened right along with me through the shortwave broadcast, and they thoroughly enjoyed it too. And all these are, of course, were recorded, and you can listen to these recordings yourselves if you'd like. They are up and they are available for your listening pleasure. You can find them all via SoundCloud and Vokaroo. Some are digital recordings, some are analog recordings, but they're all recordings nonetheless. So, February and March were again continuations. This is when I started doing my own thing. Where I started moving away from frozen pizza and rather to, again, baked goods / supermarket products. Again, Lay's wavy milk chocolate chips, red velvet M&Ms, and there are a few other videos, such as McDonald's Chicken Select Tenders, which caused an uproar on the R9K board of 4chan when I happened to call the tenders tendies, which was a meme at the time on that board. March continued, and it came and went. On March 30th, VORW 84 was uploaded, commemorating the 1-year anniversary of VORW, the Voice of the Report of the Week, and it commemorated again the 1-year anniversary of this program. Now, April was when this channel began to go into... April and May was when this channel began to really go into a little bit of a rough patch, so it seems. April started off strong with the Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni Pizza review, which got 10,000 views, simply because I wore the little mustache that was part of the cardboard box. That was why I emerged wearing this fine piece of nose gear. And that's why. People liked seeing me wearing that. And that's indeed what I wore when I wore the little mustache for this. And that was amusing, a little entertaining, a couple laughs there. But following that, this whole trend of reviewing baked supermarket goods didn't look so good. The reviews for April were Energy Crisis, Sara Lee Chocolate Chip Crisps, Lay's Wavy Mango Salsa, KFC review, and a Red Baron Brick Oven Crust, and another Energy Crisis review with 2 VORWs. Well, what happened? What's so wrong with that? The issue that presented itself here was not a lot of people watched these. Not a lot of people were interested in seeing a review for some Sara Lee baked good products. And with comments still disabled, a lot of people couldn't voice their opinions. They couldn't tell me what they wanted. They didn't want to message me or go through that. And that presented an issue, and this channel began to flatline in terms of, you know, views and everything, and I didn't really care, but it was just something to notice. Something that I noticed. That before everything was on an incline, and now it started just flatlining. And I knew that, well, maybe Who knows, maybe the viewers aren't too happy with what I'm doing. In May, I continued on with Twix Unwrapped Bites, and moving on to the next page, I also continued on with reviews for Mountain Dew Kickstart, Entenmann's French Toast Softies, Sara Lee Crumb Cakes, DiGiorno Pizzeria Pizza, another Mountain Dew Kickstart, and such. And video production, too, wasn't too regular. Sometimes between 5 and 7 days per video. So every views per videos, when they normally were between the 4,000 and 6,000 range, instead they were between the 2,000 and 3,000 range. A lot of people were tuning out. They just weren't interested in what I was doing anymore. And I said, well, in June, I decided to change things up. I remember, I believe in the May 30th VORW, I mentioned this. Or perhaps in the June 3rd when I mentioned this. I said, this is a problem with the channel. I want to expand the channel a bit. I want to keep it growing. There's no problem with that. There's no problem to expand and try to make a successful channel. No problem at all. But I said it's a problem. It's becoming stagnant. And I'm trying to do different things. I'm trying to throw in a review of a popular item here and there. I'm trying to make more VORW shows. But nothing seems to be working. Nothing does. So I actually asked the VORW audience, maybe even a few of you remember that. I asked for ideas. I said, what can we do? And they gave me ideas, and I began to initiate them in June of 2015. Okay. Now, June again started off somewhat similar. It started off with a review of Pop Chips, DiGiorno Italian Favorites Meat Trio Pizza, and such. But then I began, or I didn't have any role to do with it, honestly. Things began to turn around. Started with a video called Really Creepy Shortwave Radio Oddity, which I made this one for fun. Got about 10,000 views. And what this one was a video that I actually recorded off of my own shortwave broadcast on 7490 kilohertz off of my receiver, but no one knew this at the time. It was like a little joke on people. Because at the last minute of this broadcast, I played audio from the popular video at the time, Shia LaBeouf's video, Just Do It. And I played audio from this video in the last minute of airtime that I had for this specific broadcast. And this is what you heard in the video off of my shortwave receiver.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success, while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible! You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not gonna stop there! No! What are you waiting for? Do it!
What is that? So I did that, and that was like a little joke I played on people, but it worked out well, and it was just some light humor. After that came the Average Day 2015 video, and that's going to be a yearly trend from now on. I made a 2014 Average Day video, I made a 2015 Average Day video, and again I can say, you can expect a 2016 Average Day video. Perhaps one can say there may be some substantial differences between the 2015 and 2016 Average Day video, but let's wait until June before we find that one out. So, that happened. And that got 45,000 views. So this is when we began changing things around with the channel. Okay. The real changing point was on June 29, when I reviewed the Hot Dog Bites pizza from Pizza Hut, gaining 40,000 views. And following this, And in June 26, 2015, in the VORW there, I talked about channel discussions. And I said, I intend on taking this channel in a different direction. Because beforehand, this channel mostly focused, for the majority now of 2015, on supermarket products, on baked goods, on these Sara Lee, Little Debbie, Entenmann's type products, which are like donuts, brownies, cookies, potato chips, and the like. And also strong emphasis on energy crisis. I said I'm gonna change things up, and there's gonna be a few changes around here. Number one, I want to increase video output. And in order to do this, I'm self-funded. I use my own cash out of my pocket to buy these products. I'm gonna have to monetize the channel. I'm gonna have to use this, along with donations, to continue on with this channel, to be able to afford, number one, gas money. Okay. Number one, gas money, because you have to drive to these places a lot of the time, or travel to them via different transit means. So number one, you need gas money. Okay. Number two, you need money to buy the product itself. Number three, you need money to maintain and to produce these videos themselves. And number four, you need emergency money. Like when my camera failed, I needed money immediately. Thanks to the YouTube, I was able to do this, to be able to easily obtain a replacement and get things up and running smoothly without a single day delay. So I needed to monetize the channel in order to even begin this progression. So that's what I did. I finally enabled AdSense. I got ads on the videos. So that happened. Next, I said, we'll also take donations. And this I'm going to mention in the What to Expect 2016 video. But your donations via the Patreon are very crucial to this channel and the success thereof. And I said, in the Patreon, I can either put a focus on shortwave, or I could put a focus on the channel. And we all decided to put a focus on the channel, and that's what we've been doing. And that's where your donation money has been going, to this channel. And that's why you can see that it is where it is right now, really, literally, quite literally, in part to your financial support and contributions. Okay? Another thing I would like to do with this channel, just to come on the topic of donations and money, maybe not to get regular shortwave broadcasts up anymore, because with the way things are, I don't think I'll be able to get there. With the funding that we have, it's kind of like you can only get one or the other. You can get the channel or you can get the shortwave, and I want to go with the channel for now. But I do want to get some special shortwave broadcasts up for you guys, because I know there is a group of VORW listeners who does like the shortwave. And I want to get 2 special shortwave broadcasts up for you guys in 2016. I want to have a special shortwave broadcast, perhaps via WBCQ or WRMI radio, to North America and perhaps beyond. I want a special VORW shortwave broadcast for February 20th, 2015. Okay? Special broadcast there. February 20th, 2015. Or 2016, I mean. For the 5-year anniversary of this channel. I'll have a special program on the airwaves for that. And I also want to have a special shortwave broadcast in March for the 2-year anniversary of VORW. I think that makes sense. So that's my goal. I hope we'll be able to get there. I do. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. Anyways, as we know, the focus of this channel is mostly for supermarket type products. Stuff you'll find in the aisles of the supermarket. Well, we decided to change things up in July of 2015. Changing the focal point of this channel from these baked goods, we changed it to fast and popular food, with the occasional supermarket product and energy crisis review mixed in here and there. We started that off with the famous and renowned, and infamous, should we say, Hot Dog Bites Pizza from Pizza Hut. Following that, we reviewed the Baconator Fries from Wendy's, and immediately thereafter we tried the Taco Bell Bacon Club Chalupa. Now what did that mean? This was a focal point, and this was a beginning of a major change in this channel that we still hold today. In that we're doing popular food. And that applies to a lot more people, viewers, number one, but also random people searching the internet who are interested to know what this product tastes like. And they happen to click on these videos. On July 10th, we launched our Patreon campaign, and we began making some other videos which really began to change the direction of this channel, such as an increase in VORW shows, and other random videos such as Lofthouse Cookies, Disappointment, and Disgust. So we began to change the focus of this channel to that, okay, to more popular food. We continue on into the summer of 2015, into July of the year. Okay. Into July of this said year, if you will. Where we did several more videos which furthered this progression of the channel. And that was, I began reviewing these popular items from different locations. I tried the Little Caesars cheese and pretzel dippers. I tried a Hardee's single all-natural burger. Both of these from two different locations which no one had ever seen before. And then on July 24th, and on the 27th, I did car reviews. I did a review of Arby's Loaded Italian Sandwich and a review of Long John Silver's Chicken, Fish, Fries, and Hush Puppies from behind the steering wheel of a car. And that furthered this progression, with the Arby's review gaining 36,000 views, and Long John Silver's review gaining 17,000. On the 31st, I did a review for Monster Ultra Citron. Following that was a review from Starbucks with their barbecue beef brisket on sourdough, popular item at the time. So you can see where we're going here in this month now. Not really focusing on the supermarket products anymore, but rather focusing on popular, new fast food items. Then on August 9th, I began talking with other individuals, aka VORW viewers, about some ideas for the channel. And on August 11th, we did it. We initiated it, and it happened. Since early 2013, we had comments blocked on this channel. Simply because there were more people hate-mongering than there were people saying something nice. I didn't like it, so I disabled comments. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And they stayed blocked until August of 2015, when I gave people the right, again, to express and voice their opinions. And did they do that? They did indeed. Completely unannounced and at random, on Energy Crisis Review 131 for 5-Hour Energy Berry, I had comments enabled, and they have stayed enabled ever since then, with 96 comments being left on the first video. Lately, I've noticed people are starting to get off their good behavior that they once had when the early days when I brought back the comments. Now they're really starting to be their true selves again, and they're starting to, kind of not pretend to be like they like me anymore, and they're just starting to voice their true opinions. They're There's some guy the other day who, I got fed up with him. And I told him, he just left some comment, and I told him, he said he was a viewer or something, but he had all the criticisms, and, he wasn't being constructive, he was just being, mean and picky. And I told him, just unsub and leave, and just never show up here again. And I blocked him, and I hope he actually left and unsubbed, I really do. One less degenerate to have to deal with. So sometimes I mostly just ignore them. Now I block them, if they get too bad. But sometimes I get fed up with them. I really do. Another thing I really get fed up with, it's the honest truth. I'm not trying to be picky or trying to be an ass or anything like that. This is something that, I'm going to get fed up with here and there, but I try to excuse everyone. As all the people who assume I'm 14 or 15 years old. I think if you put yourself in my shoes, I imagine you'd understand the frustration too. People assuming you're but a child, and it's almost as though they're not taking you, seriously. It's like, oh, look at this stupid little, kid in the suit. When it's actually a full-grown adult behind the wheel of a car, in professional attire, reviewing a product with humor here and there. So, it kind of makes me shrug, and it says, when are these people just going to go away? So, I'm not 12, I'm not 11, I'm not 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and so on. I'm not. That's not my age. But we'll keep that to the recesses of my mind. We will. On August 15th, there's another iconic review, the Super Pretzel Bavarian Pretzel Sticks, which was still, I still try to do these. I don't forget them entirely, so sometimes I still will do like a type of frozen food, like these pretzel sticks. But this review spelled disaster. It did. I had on some fine attire, an imperial collar, and frock coat. 13 minutes long the review was. So what happened? What happened? These sticks were so hard to separate, as a matter of fact, that I knocked over the water glass here, and it literally messed up the table, if you will. Still, however, I said, forget it, I'll just keep going as I do. So I got up while the camera was still rolling, and I dried up the table and continued on. And that led for a rather unique review. I continued on with the fast food style approach through August with the Taco Bell Fiery Ghost Pepper Daredevil Griller review, Burger King Fiery Chicken Fries, McDonald's Buttermilk Crispy Chicken Deluxe Sandwich. And I began increasing the video output dramatically, with videos coming out nearly every 2 days. So for this bombardment of new videos, of popular fast food items, it really began to lead to an increase in views, and people started coming back again. I traveled to Florida and switched up the location again as of August 25th, with a review behind the wheel. And from a different location, I produced videos about Kerr's Wing House wings, Wendy's grilled chicken sandwich, steak and shake review, a video where Dunkin' Donuts messed up, and then finally, from this location in Florida, Great Value purified drinking water versus spring water, which was again a joke but serious review of mine. Whereas I did a fully legitimate review of water, it is an honest review in Energy Crisis style of water, but it's so ridiculous. You're reviewing frickin' water and comparing two different types of water that pretty much taste exactly the same. Right. That's what you're doing. Still, however, I did it, and because of the pure obscurity of it, it gained attention, and it still does. And as of now, it has 45,000 views. On September 8th, was VORW number 100 in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, which really did explain the history of VORW and, of course, a fan mail reading. The videos continued now with renewed attention, where it still remains today, with a Planet Wings review and an Energy Crisis review, followed by a survey video on September the 16th, now during September. Should comments remain enabled on the Reporter Briefs videos? And in that, because there was some opposition, people still saying they don't want comments enabled, I did a survey. I haven't looked at this from some time, but let's see what the results would be right now if we look at this video once again. I've released a survey, a straw poll survey, and I wanted to see what people thought about comments on my videos. So let's look at this, shall we? strawpoll.me/5500511. Let's look at the results. Let's see what the results of this poll here was. There are 3 options. It said, should comments be enabled on my videos? Yes, users may freely post comments on any video. Yes, users may comment, but comments require approval. Or no, comments will be disabled. And I said also, well, if you have your own idea for things, feel free to contact me, and we'll try to work something out here. Well, here's what the results came down to. 2010 people, or 2010 people, voted comments should be available for every video. 253 people voted comments should require approval, and 144 people said comments should be disabled, with 2,407 total votes. That's a good amount, right? That continued on. Even further still, there was another change in this channel, which began on September the 17th, 2015, starting with the Popeyes Bonafide Big Box, running an empty food review. In that review, I decided, let's open myself to a new horizon of fast food products. And let us begin doing these reviews of fast food products in public. We're going to throw caution to the wind. We're not going to care what other people think. We're going to begin reviewing in public. And that's what I did. Until December, I did fast food reviews completely in public. And alongside that, I had other videos through September of the channel. Comments on videos, results discussion. I had a Pizza Hut Twisted Pretzel Crust review. The Taco Bell Volcano Quesarito review. I did the famous Burger King A1 Halloween Whopper, which left some green-colored byproducts days later. In October, the trend continued, very successfully at that. Reviews for Mooyah Burgers, Sbarro New York-style pepperoni pizza, Domino's marbled cookie brownie, Popeye's wild pepper tenderloins, Burger King extra long sriracha cheeseburger, Burger King's pumpkin spice Oreo shake, which we began doing the drink review series of no title, and so on, with video output being dramatically increased, as I said. On October 7th, 2015, we brought back a series which is almost long forgotten, that many people thoroughly enjoyed. That was the Idle Mind series. The Idle Mind lecture, episode 14, McDonald's. I talked about McDonald's and the unfortunate fate thereof for 30 minutes. And people enjoyed it. 7,000 people enjoyed it, with 337 likes, 7 dislikes. So people really liked the comeback of the Idle Mind, and I will say again, I have more Idle Mind videos planned for you all to enjoy. There's a random video too, which I try to, release some random videos here and there, about Long John Silver's drive-thru. People like that, apparently. On October 24th, I made a video explaining my unconventional rating scale. That's all I talked about, really. It's an unconventional rating scale, and I talked about that. In closing off October, I did the steak and potato boss wrap from Taco Bell. And also a VORW show. Through November, the trend continued with increased video production of the Burger King Buffalo Chicken Fries, Sparrow Garlic Breadsticks, a Wetzel's Pretzels Rand, the Dunkin' Donuts Sweet Black Pepper Bacon Breakfast Sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts, Popeye's Spicy Garlic Butterfly Shrimp, VORWs, and other videos too, including the long-lost review of 2015, Sarah Lee, which brought people back to an earlier era in 2015 of the baked goods era of Running on Empty reviews. I'm on a roll here, I'm not stopping. In November 15th, we did a review of Chips Ahoy limited edition hot cocoa review, cocoa cookies. Can't speak. Again, because even though our focus is still on, new fast food items, I didn't want to totally forget these types of products that were, frozen and baked goods and such. I didn't want to forget that they exist. So they were a very crucial part of this channel, and something I'll still review from here. November 15th, again, a second review of that day. White Castle Turkey Sliders, all three reviewed. I made an archived review, my first video ever. That was a food review from January 2011. I reviewed Nathan's Famous Hot Dog, 2 VORWs, Pizza Hut Hot Chocolate Brownie, Wendy's Gouda Bacon Cheeseburger, and then a series of public reviews in a row around the Thanksgiving season, the Fully Loaded Steak Boss Wrap, a Burger King Frozen Surge, and 3 drink reviews here, Burger King Frozen Surge, Starbucks Caramel Brulee Latte, and Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte. And that's what brought us into December, this public review here from Starbucks, their Pumpkin Spice Latte, which everyone loves so much. And according to many a comment, I was a white female when I reviewed that. And then through December, this final month of the year, where we still currently are in, the current time is 9:06 p.m. on December 31st, 2015. Our last moments of 2015 here. I began reviewing the Popeyes Tabasco Spiced Pepper Barrel Tenders, the Fusion Energy Crisis, Hostess Peppermint Ho-Hos, again harking back to an earlier era, Taco Bell Boss Nachos, a random review of KFC's Popcorn Chicken, Power Energy Toothpaste, Planet Wings Buffalo Chicken Sandwich. Oh, on December 16th, something happened. The old camera which we had used, that was a fixture to this channel, that was analog, ran off of tape, and was in a grand 480p, which really brought an iconic image from the little reviewing chamber, the reviewing edifice, if you will. Died on us. There was a critical failure. The issue began on the 14th when we began filming that review. And there was a critical issue and a critical failure in the camera on the 16th that rendered any filming of that camera inoperable. And thankfully I was able to, I was still dying unfortunately, I was able to get it in the computer and I was able to save any reviews and special videos to me that I really cared about. I was able to get them off that camera while I still could before the camera shut off forever. I was able to salvage that. I'm glad I did. There were a lot of good memories on that camera that I was able to save now for future viewing. And from that video now, all I've been able to replace this with, of course, was HD technology, and that's what we're going with now. HD video from then on. And you never know, there might be a little analog camera coming back, maybe for studio, aka reviewing chamber reviews, but maybe for public and car reviews. We'll always keep the HD now. We'll see. But we did the final public review of 2015. That was from Buffalo Wild Wings, where we tried out their Mountain Dew wings, which is a real attention grabber. And then following that, from December 20th onwards, I'm in a different location now in the US, and it's a series of car reviews. Again, still on the trend of, fast and popular food. Hardee's Steakhouse Thick Burger. We tried a regional excellent chain, should I say, of Cookout. Energy Crisis review for Christmas, our Christmas blowout. Burger King Flame Grilled Chicken Burger. And, of course, VORW and Taco Bell's Sriracha Chicken Crunchwrap Cider food review. And now our final video of 2015. This VORW VORW show number 109, Year in Review. And that's 2015. That's what we have for you. Overall, 2015 was not as turbulent as 2014 was, but it was a year of great change. Well, this channel still stands as it is with its basic structure and standards. The Energy Crisis, Running on Empty, VORW series, even Idle Mind, and now Drink Reviews continue on as they will through 2016. There were changes as well. Some expected, some unexpected, in terms of monetizing the channel, shortwave broadcasts, a new focal point in the Running on Empty series, introducing new drink reviews, enabling the comments, filming in public, filming from behind the wheel, filming in different locations across the country, and everything in between. This is what 2015 has brought us. And for me and for this channel, it has been an excellent and wonderful year, and a year I really do wish I could repeat, because it really has been truly, not just on a YouTube level, on an internet level, but on a personal level, to me, really has been the best year of my life. It really has been. It's been a great year for me. I myself have struggled with many issues, but they've been a lot more bearable now. They really have been, thanks to, especially now in 2015, people who have been there for me through it all. And I really am indebted to them, and I really do owe this person a great deal of thanks and gratitude. For the world, 2015 was an awful year, and this New Year's was bad just because of, radio and everything, but I hope your 2015 was okay. I hope it was good, and hey, here's to 2016. And I raise you this Monster Energy in this glass bottle here, and let's collectively, on the air, take a nice big gulp. Here's to 2016, ladies and gentlemen. All the best. And let us hope all of us, this channel, and each and every one of you, and myself included, have a wonderful, excellent, happy, healthy, prosperous, and successful new year. And let us hope that 2016 is an excellent year for us all, in our lives, in our business, and everything else. Let's hope it's successful, and let's hope it's a great year. 2016, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have for you now. This is VORW, the voice of the Puerto Rico. This is our year in review, and that concludes our year in review. And with these last words, this concludes all of our videos from 2015. So this concludes our era of filming and YouTube videos of 2015. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And remember, if you have any suggestions, any comments or questions, any ideas for 2016, anything you'd like to see more of or less of in 2016, always appreciated right here on VORW. Send us your letters, send us your emails, send us your messages. YouTube.com/Report of the Week. Click on the About tab, send message, send any New Year's greetings, shout outs to anyone you'd like. Family, friends, fellow online friends, whoever you'd like. New Year's greetings, best wishes, shout-outs. You can do that right here. Any questions or comments about 2016? Anything, again, you want to see more of or less of for this channel in 2016? Write it right here. Send message tab, type your contents and send it away, or email us at repweekinterview1@gmail.com. That's repweekinterview1@gmail.com, or vorwinfo@gmail.com. That's vorwinfo@gmail.com. One word for both of those emails. Thank you very much for listening. Again, these are my final words of 2015. Hope you've had a great year, and I hope you will have a great year for 2016. And with that, our next VORW, our next YouTube video, will be uploaded in 2016. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a very happy and healthy new year, and I wish you all the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all again in 2016. This is the Report of the Week, and this is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, and goodbye. This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing off